In this video I'm going to show you how to deal with the various photograph options available and how to deal with site notes. The app has various options available for taking photographs. If I go into section E just to demonstrate, in the first instance you'll see we have this little camera button at the top. The photos that you take here are not stored in the site notes, and what it does, it allows you to very quickly in any section just take a selection of photographs. And as you see, I'm not showing them again, but say for instance I just went around the outside of the house and just took loads of photographs on there, and then I later wanted to sit down and build up my report. And let's say that within those photographs I had a picture of the chimney. I'm now in section E1 for chimney. I click on the little camera option. I can either take a new photograph immediately, and this brings up the camera and I can take another photo, and I get even the option to review it. But I can also click import photo, and this will now display all of the photographs that I've taken using this button, and I can add them in as I want. So some surveyors may find this a useful feature. An alternative, if you click on the camera button here again and import, is if you click on external, it will bring up all the photos within your iPad's camera roll, so you don't even need to be within the iPad, the application itself. And one of the advantages of using the iPad's camera, as opposed to the one built into the application, is you've got the ability to pinch and zoom in, and to change the layout of the photo to square and anything, and panoramic even, if you see there, look. So you can take a panoramic photo, so you can add all of those in, which is perhaps quite useful for some surveyors. And it's the same principle. Once you've clicked on the external button to bring them in, the photos are there and you can just select them and add them into the app, and they'll appear at the top here. You can make notes onto your photographs. If you click on the photo, it won't come out very well on the camera, but there's a small little pencil icon in the top left corner. If I click on that, the photo becomes editable. I can change the colour of the pen I'm using by clicking on that little colour box, and I can make it red. And what I've been doing myself is, if there's a chimney in the photo, so let's say there's the chimney, and I have a defect at the top, I would then circle that defect on the photo, and as far as I'm concerned that's a satisfactory way of showing there's a defect and where it is. And you click save, and now the photo with the markings is now saved there. If I wanted to add that photo into the report, I can click on it, click add to report, and you'll see now that it's been flagged up as being included within the report. So again, it's quite straightforward, and you'll be able to quickly scroll through and see which photographs that you've installed you're going to be including within your report, because they'll have the green flag, and likewise those which won't. If you go into the defects layers, you know you can also take a photo, and these photos will be logged with that particular defect. So if I just take a photo again, you'll see the photos now within that sort of defects layer, and the photo will be saved down here. So you can, perhaps if you want to, rather than have them as a more general photo for the chimney, you can group them with a specific defect, which, as a way of perhaps recording a site note, could be quite helpful, because it saves you having to type a lot of notes in. There are other photo facilities within general details here. Photos required, and these sort of mirror what's on the mortgage valuation app, and in particular we've got the site note plan one here. I've clicked them as not applicable for this test case, but again, you can add them as you want. Add photo, much like the mortgage valuation app, allows you to take a new photo, whereas if you click select, you can either select the photos from this button that you took earlier, or click external and use the camera roll photos. And then jumps into there. Now, one of the shortcomings of this app is that your button clicks along these lines don't really build up a site note. They're just building up phrases for the report. Now, you can to some degree use them as a site note taking tool. For instance, I can say there are 3 chimney stacks and commit that phrase, and it will drop down to the bottom. And if I click reorder and the negative sign, you'll see that we've got a third option here, site note only. If I click on that, then that phrase is shown in grey and will essentially not be put into the report. It will just become a site note. So for a surveyor that perhaps doesn't want to type in loads of notes and wants to build up a description which is over and above what they're going to put into the report, this is a useful tool and something with practice you'll be able to do quite quickly. But probably the most useful site note tool is this notes button, and there'll be a separate notes button at the top of each section, and that allows you to take text and to do sketches. If you click the little button there, you see that I can just do a sketch and save it. And that'll be there, and all my sketches will be saved there. But I think the text is probably the most useful box, and I treat this in much the same way as the paper site notes that we have used previously. So I would make a small number of text notes in each of these sections to mirror what I would have taken down as paper site notes, and I would support that with photographs. eTech are working on an alternative note function whereby there'll be a text box at the top of each section. So the first thing under roof covering will be this text box that you can put your notes in, then you'll see these roof type and covering options below that. I believe this will be coming out in the next release. Thank you, end of video.